Just for the
Yeah.
recording's sake, I'm going to preface this by talking about you playing new players, and when you have the opportunity to play new or better players, how do you like approach it to either get maximum value or like how to maximize value, either deciding I want to win or I want to like take something from it. It's
hmm
sort of okay. So I feel like things how I generally feel about that kind of stuff is I think that like the way that I approach playing new or better players generally ends up um falling pretty similarly into the category that I like treat like almost everyone else in, where it's like I want to do things that I think are good and thus I think will lead to me winning because I like have faith in those options kind of inherently. But like
Right.
I try and be attentive of like things as they come up and be aware of like this is something I've never seen before, or like I don't feel like I experience this thing in this way that often. And I'm sure you get that a lot when you play like the better players. It's like you play Michael, he hits you with like, he like jumps and then does like a full drift forward, no fastball fair, in like a position that you weren't like expecting it. And it's like, oh, okay, I like. It's like it unlocks kind of a thing in your brain. And I think like approaching, um, like having, I guess, kind of that awareness when playing people will be valuable because I think obviously you want to do it when people you play with all the time, but you'll probably have less things where it's like, oh my god, that's a new thing. But like just being aware and trying to like take note of things as they happen and how they like reflect upon your experiences, I think is generally a pretty good way to approach it. And I think like that doesn't necessarily take away from you trying to win while playing either, because you can recognize those things and like compartmentalize them. Like you don't need to act on them immediately or think about them. You can just like in the moment be like, oh, that's a thing, and then go back to focusing on playing. Right? Does that sound
Right.
reasonable?
Yeah, of course. Like I've had moments like that before where um the biggest one off the top of my mind, it was like Evo, whichever one Weapon won, 2018.
Yeah,
And
2018.
I was still like kind of it's weird, like kind of newish, but like still just like technical. And
Mm-hmm.
I remember I got to sit in I forgot who. It was like a Cloud9 or a Tempo like booth and something, and you just got to play with like Axe or Mango.
Yeah.
And I played Mango, and we were just doing a Falco ditto on FD, and it was just like simple like whoever gets first laser neutral. But
Mm-hmm.
I caught him like on his shield, and I just decided to like forward tilt it, forward tilt or F smash, one of those,
Mm-hmm.
and he just wave dashes out and shines me for it. I'm like, what the hell, like. Like it, it seems like a common like neutral thing, but I would never see anyone like around my level or even some people like just take that risk and like hit me and combo me and kill me off of it. I'm like, oh, Falco could do that.
Yeah, yeah.
And like it just kind of blew my mind, even if it was like a really simple interaction, and everything after that, it's just like holy shit. Um, so it's stuff like that that I want to get it like I want to get every like important neutral interaction like embedded into my head to
Yeah.
like be prepared for it for the future. Um, and then I think the set I'm gonna show you right now, I played it at Lombardi,
Mhm.
and I would get pretty much like face rolled for this,
Yeah.
but it happens. It's Fox Falco. Like
Yeah, I think it's hard. Game is
yeah,
not easy.
uh-huh. What should we call it? Why is it not paste?
But,
I played Cliche on for winners round three,
mm-hmm.
and usually I really love playing Fox Falco, but I this tournament I just get double eliminated by Falco. I'm like, it happens.
Mm-hmm.
But like, even if I feel like prepared for it, I'll play like all the net play Falcos in the world. I have like a couple of Falco like uh warm up friends.
Yeah.
Um, I feel like I have an okay understanding of the neutral, especially like the take laser distance,
Yeah.
but sometimes I really get antsy for it, especially if I'm a stock under, because I want to just re like
You just
get
want to
back
like
to
hit him. You don't want to let him just keep lasering you, and you don't want to feel like you're down like because I think that happens a lot with Falco, and you start
Yeah,
getting lasered, you're like, well, fuck, how am I supposed to do a thing? Yeah.
yeah, because I love playing Fox's side on the lead, because then I could just run wherever I want and have him approach me. But
Hmm.
when it's the other way around, when he has the lead, I feel like he'll just like go back to under platform and then just laser, and then I have to wait. But
Hmm.
and then it's like it's my job to make the move, which not all the time like Falcos will be like that, but for players like Cleash and like Mega Christmas and stuff, like
Yeah.
they're super disciplined and don't give any freebies. And I think that's the level of Falcos like I want to like take on and like beat.
Hmm. Yeah, you could talk about that. I think that is just honestly one of the parts of a matchup that makes it really hard. Falco lasers, something that I kind of like don't feel like people can or like explicitly say that's like super just like a true concept is like, every time Falco lasers you, it's like you're literally in disadvantage, right? And it's
Yeah,
like I think it's easy to be like, oh, I'm playing all the laser mix-ups and doing all this stuff. What's like when I like think of that, it's like you're playing out of disadvantageous positions where you have an opportunity to hit them, but like fundamentally they're disadvantageous. And so
that's right.
I guess that like leads into the idea of like, okay, well, like, what are things we can do that like, how does the matchup function outside of like just those laser interactions? And I think building up that like framework, well, not that framework necessarily, but that like understanding will help a lot because it's like, oh, when Falco's not lasering or like isn't hitting me with lasers, and say I'm on like a different plane, I'm on a side platform, he's on the ground. These are the things that like this is the way the matchup functions or whatever, right? And I think it ends up being a lot simpler and also a lot more consistent and generally better EV. Just because you don't have to deal with being at disadvantage before you make your decision, right?
Right.
Um, um, Yeah, and we could talk about that. I think it'll see a ton of opportunities where the thing about the Falco Expert, I guess, that I do think makes it hard to like conceptualize is that in every given spot where there's like a thing that happens, I feel like it. How do I say it? There are like an absurd amount of ways it could play out that might make it kind of like daunting in terms of like what decisions you can make. But I think that if we just cover what makes each decision good, that could just be like what guides you into making those decisions. Like, what do you want to do with the decision you're making? That will be the thing that makes it like clear, and I think that could be valuable.
Yeah, I think that would be really good because like I want to, specifically with that matchup, I want to take like the least risks possible and not throw leads like crazy.
Yeah, just get hit and die instantly. Like that's how
Yeah,
like a lot of foxes just lose the Falco. They take the risk and just like explode, and it's like, oops, I guess I shouldn't have done that. And it's like, yeah,
that
probably not.
sounds about right for me. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it's really hard to not do that. To be completely, I think I always this is like something that I always talk about in melee, where it's just like there's death planes, and if you don't learn like the death planes, if you get put in the plane, you will just die. It's just how the game works sometimes in some
Yeah.
matchups, and with Falco especially, there's so many like very minute death planes that you just have to like be aware of and like always avoid. And if you do not, you will die.
Mm. I've come into terms with that because I used to be like a way bigger like Falco hater. I'm like, Man, I just lose one neutral interaction, I'm dead." I'm more accepting of that because I love playing Falco too,
Yeah.
but um, I just want to get smarter at like not dying to him.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you have any thoughts on this set specifically before we go into it? How do you feel like it
Like,
went and that kind of stuff?
uh, I feel like I got a good neutral interaction for like the first stocks in both games.
Hmm.
Um, I feel like there's also times where I don't really know how to take it Falco, even if it's like a stray like bear, or like if I'm getting outspaced by, I think he hits me with like forward tilt and stuff.
Yeah.
Like I understand like, if I get shined, then I'm basically dead. If I get down tilted at a certain percent, I'm probably dead too.
Hmm.
Um, I have to look out for up tilts also, but it's like sometimes I'll get my clean hit and then I'll just miss like the tech chases I'm supposed to hit.
Yeah.
Um, It's like certain stuff that I know I should clean up, but I need to learn how to like take a good hit from Falco and get my best reversal off that too.
Yeah, yeah. No, I think that makes sense. Um,
Mhm.
uh, what if I have any thoughts? Um, I do think. I wonder if doing this now would be valuable. Actually, we could
No,
watch and then I'll bring it up. I think it'll be easier to if I talk about it with like situations to back it.
okay,
Okay,
yeah,
cool. Are you in the stream? Can you see?
yeah, I see it.
Okay, cool. Okay, already I actually think you did something pretty bad.
Oh,
Um,
is this like the Marth one where I just run in and like?
well, the issue, I guess, at this one, running in is totally fine because it's a mix-up, right? At this
Yeah,
range, if you get lasered, you know that the Falco's lasering. This is like, part of the take laser mix-up range. But pretty just immediately, you like aren't ready to get hit by the laser, and so you do this weird double jump thing, and then it's like, well, man, you're double jumping in a way that like you're not going high enough to get put on top platform, and like then you fast fall and don't like use the side platform as like a potential option, then it's like you end up in a pretty bad position, right?
I see. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that like sure we could talk about what you would do instead, but I feel like the main sentiment that I kind of want to cover is that like I feel like a big part of what makes like of how Fox and every character in general is supposed to be the Falco matchup is it's like you have to like understand very well when you're getting lasered and what that means for like the next situation you're going to play. And so it's like given this, I feel like you could have reasonably been aware that Falco is lasering. Maybe it's hard because like what's it called, the like ghost
Go.
screen makes
Yeah.
it hard, but like I feel like at this point you could have at least seen that he was lasering, and you have enough time
True.
given the laser traveling and the laser hitting you to like actually make a decision um on reaction to it, right? And like have it be like a reasonable decision. And so it's like I guess the sentiment of kind of what I'm saying is that I think it's important to know spots when Falco can laser you and like be ready if he does end up doing it, because a position like this where you get lasered and then play out of it poorly because you weren't expecting to get lasered, this is the type of stuff that like you know if Cleach was like slightly better, he would like be doing a late downer to whiff punch that double jump, and you would just die, right?
Yeah.
And so
Um,
it's like,
like
you
on the
know,
go.
yeah, yeah, and it's like that's like you just immediately gave up a big like opening just off the basis of not being ready like for laser, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
Um, nice. You're ready for laser here, which I think is good. After like whiffing, you're ready to still dash back. Hmm. Yeah, bad tech skill. I do think though that while I think the full hop was fine,
Mhm.
you did your option out of the full hop so early to where I feel like you didn't even recognize that like you didn't dash,
Right.
and so you just like assumed that you hit the dash and then did like that fast fall drill when it you probably couldn't have like you just couldn't have hit him because you didn't have like dash momentum, right?
Yeah. And would I even hit like if I was in that spacing?
Um,
Yeah,
I think you would end up right here, and he's like dash dancing around that spot, so you probably would have not hit him anyways.
that's true.
Yeah, but yeah, and so it's like I think that this is different from like the other laser position because you're clearly ready to get hit, but this is more of a matter of like it goes back to some of the other lessons where I think you specifically talked about reacting on a full hop where it's like you really can milk it, and like you should try your absolute hardest to get the best you can at just like looking at the game state when you full hop, because I think that like a big part of like being good at melee is like making mistakes and then adjusting very well to the point to where it makes that mistake not even look like one. Like that's something Cody's like really good at. Cody will mess up and you'll be like, "Did you do that intentionally?" Like dead ass. And I think that's like a real skill to have in melee.
Yeah.
Um, and this is like a good opportunity for that where it's like you have a thing like full hop that you can react while doing. You can tell the qualities of what you're doing and everything. And so it's like, why not, use that extra bit of information to the best of your ability and like change the way you play? Because I feel like if I were playing and I like messed up my dash forward and didn't end up like getting the momentum I wanted, I would have just like double jump wave landed on top platform, right? and then you
Yeah,
get to
that's true.
restart.
Uh-huh.
Does that make sense for like, I guess like fixing your mistakes when you have the opportunity, or like recognizing that you've made a mistake and not like committing anyways?
Yeah.
Nice. Oh,
Mhm.
this is honestly something that I think you should practice. That I think is really important and really hard. Is just like when you grab someone under the platform and they could do a DI that like will move them from like under the platform, or like it'll keep them from landing on the platform, right? So in this example, him DIing to the left made him not land on the platform, right? I think in a
Yeah,
position where he
like
could
it's so
either,
ambiguous.
yeah, where he either could land on the platform or not land on the platform, or slight DI and land on the platform, but it's kind of close. I think you should really, really practice this specific position because it is extremely important and really hard. Because there's a lot of things you have to think about, right? You have to like,
Yeah.
what if I want to falling up air the tech in place and get the coverage? What if I want to read tech rolls and decide to react? What if I have to hit a slight DI that might land on the platform, might not? What if there's so many things that you like have to do to like play the situation correctly, where I think it ends up making your mental stack pretty high. And so I think practicing this like intentionally could be very valuable, or will be very valuable.
Because this DI is still like up smashable, right?
This DI, you should probably regrab, because if you up smash and they DI away, they just like land on the side plat,
That's
right?
true. Mhm.
Yeah. So I think what you can do, there's actually a secret technique that Leffen does that I don't think anyone else really does, but you could do up throw and then like dash as if you're gonna up smash, but then do the up smash later so you get the reverse hit. And what that does
Okay.
is, since they like are holding left, but you're getting the reverse hit of up smash, then they're just essentially DIing in and they go straight up.
Mhm.
Um, I think I can't really explain it outside of like you do the up smash out of the dash later, but like
Yeah,
you kind of want to hit like um
the back hit.
yeah, it's like where you're jumping now, your up smash would hit like you'd probably be right here when your up smash hit him, right? But you want to
Right.
like be right here.
Hmm.
So you'd like dash for maybe 2 more frames, and then like you'd end up like inside of him rather than like hitting him with your foot, if you can
Yeah.
visualize that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's a thing you could do here that like ends up being really good, because if they DI in on the reverse hit, then they just get comboed, right? You get
Yeah.
like your up air or whatever. Um,
Okay. Because I've been struggling with the, like ambiguous DI like for a long time, and I've never really like set in stone like an option to what to do with it.
yeah, it's hard. I think with this guy specifically, the up smash is good. You could also regrab. I think regrab is easier, but less good because you'll have to end up platform tech chasing.
True.
Um, yeah, bad laser tech skill. Yeah, you missed your dash back. That's the second time you've like missed your dash out of laser.
Hmm.
Um, and that could either say that you might not have the best tech skill doing it overall, or maybe your idea of it is like faster than you think it is.
Maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe you might need to slow down slightly. Oh wow, you had your jump. What the fuck?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
insane.
That phantoms too.
Yeah. Okay. I assume your notch didn't work here.
Yeah. It's funny because I switched to wave dash notch for this tournament too. I use a goon wave, so maybe I like miscalibrated it, but
Mm-hmm.
um yeah, I think I wanted to go like up and in
Up and in. Okay. Okay. You can, from this angle, you can actually go to ledge.
the ledge.
If
Yeah,
you're this
because these
close, you actually can. It looks freaky, but it is possible.
and I still wouldn't get hit by Pulse Smash, right? I'd just like
Yeah,
notch
you just clip the ledge. You just sweet spot. Yeah.
sick.
If you just use like the wave dash up B notch or whatever, and it looks like you won't, but the closer you are, the more like horizontal you could be. Like if you're like right here, you could literally be equal with the ledge and go down and clip it, just because
Yeah,
his grab box is big enough or whatever. And so right
yeah.
here, you could do something similar and still just like get the sweet spot.
I think I might be able to hit it then. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Mm, This is something I tell a lot of people about Falco, but I think one of the easiest ways to lose to Falco is to chase him vertically. And
Mhm.
so when I say chase Falco vertically, what do you think I mean by that?
Like if he's full hopping to like the top platform.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
And you try and go up there and hit him or something of that nature. Yeah, and I think doing that is really bad because it like first off, when Falco's going up or like landing or on this top platform, he has way more ways to defend than you do to like hit him.
yeah,
Right? Does that feel intuitive? Where it's like he could shield, he could be dashing, he could be drifting, right? Well, you can only really just be jumping up, you know.
yeah.
Um, and then like what happens a lot of the time is if Falco decides to like play evasively and you get caught while going up, you end up in a pretty awkward slash bad position a lot of the time. And so I think that like getting hit in a position where like you because like Falco generally tends to jump away in spots like those where he's like disadvantageous. And so it's like if you're giving up or an advantageous position already, and then it ends up in like a spot where you could get hit or combo to death or something,
Yeah,
that's pretty bad, right? That's
it
like
is. It's super
that's a
bad. Yeah.
complete flip.
Uh-huh.
And so I think spots like those, it's pretty important. They're like, wait, if something that was so good initially ended up going so poorly, what went wrong? Um,
So in this case, like, because I'm trying to hit him off of invincibility,
yeah.
um, should I just like let him go scot free and just like still stay like centered, or find my own position to like just play neutral again?
I think in this specific position, since you had already came down from the spawn platform and like did this bear and grabbed, that's kind of like all you get, right? Something that Sammy says about invincibility that I like a lot is like you get your one read and then you have to play for positioning if it doesn't work. Just because that's
Okay.
just like in terms of time, that is just what happens, right?
Right.
And so I think here, you did the bear and you have your grab and that's your one read. You read him staying in shield, right?
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
then since he didn't do it, you have to be like, okay, he didn't get hit. I'm going to play for positioning. And so I think deciding to stay in the corner could be fine, or maybe jumping to side platform, or dashing to the edge of the stage or something. Some like sort of thing that positions you reasonably against top platform since he's up there, right? Does
Yeah.
that make
Because at some
sense?
point, yeah, because at some point he's gonna either want to laser or just maybe hit me. But since he's like a more passive player, like he might just like want to like I'd guess with the position right there, since he's dashing out, he could
Mhm.
like do, like a reverse laser to like the left platform.
Yeah, like he could do
Yeah.
something like that, or
Mhm.
he could drop through and laser. He could like short hop off or whatever. And I think if you're aware that like from the platform he could do those decisions, then you could use that to guide how you position on the ground. Does that
That's right.
make sense? Yeah. Yeah, and we see here that when you try and chase him vertically, you like see him go up there. You try and do this double jump thing. If he could have just dashed, jump, shined. I don't
Yeah.
know why he fared, but if he shined, you were just getting comboed, and that's really bad.
Uh huh.
You just came back with invincibility and you're getting hit. Well, like you should be getting hit with shine. That's like a pretty like big mistake, I think.
That's true. Oh, I want to talk about that dare that he does after the fair. Like
Yeah.
that's what I mean when I like I don't know how to take a hit that well, even if it looks like I'm crouching, but like
Mm-hmm.
there's something I'm missing after that.
Um. Well, I guess in this position, what made it awkward is that the fair actually shield poked the back of your shield.
Oh my god, yeah.
So either that or you shield dropped, which I don't think you're shield dropping because you weren't even shield angling. I
No.
recall. So I'm pretty sure it shield dropped the back of your shield, or shield poked the back of your shield.
Right.
And then you weren't like expecting that because obviously that's a weird thing to happen. I wouldn't expect anyone to be ready for it. And then you like tried to jump because you realized you got hit, but his downer like caught you out of the air, and then you weren't ready to like potentially shine since you didn't get knocked down from the dare. And so I think that that's kind of like there are things to say where it's like I feel like if I got hit by this rising fair in the way that you did, I would he would do it and I would get hit and I would literally just shield.
The shield,
Um
yeah.
and so off that basis, I would be shielding because since he's doing a rising fair, he has to fall down, and then he'll probably either fall down in front of me and I could shield grab him, or he like falls on top of me or something and I'd shine and just shield it or like shield drop shine or whatever, and it's fine.
Disruption, yeah.
Yeah. Or given that you got shield poked right here, I would have been like, oh, I got like shield poked in a weird way, and we're point blank. I don't have that much time to do a thing. I'm probably gonna hold shield, right? Because when when you're close and you don't have that much time, you can't pick options that are slow, right? So jumping and going up takes time. Dashing out of the way takes time. Doing a move takes time. And so it's like, okay, well, I could do something that's fast and I could shield, and that could like interact with the situation well and give me an opportunity to like catch my breath or react, right?
True.
And then after getting hit by the down air, I feel like this is a matter of like awareness, where like if you know that, because do you know how like um if Falco down air hits you out of the air before knockdown percent, you pretty much you like land actionable. Do you know about that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has to do like the full like the lowest air possible for me to be like still stunned.
Yeah, yeah, right. And so it's like, okay, well, if he's hitting you out of the air and you like are landing and just are actionable before he is, because look, he's literally in the air right now, and you are
Yeah.
walking, right? You're just
Yeah.
completely actionable, and so it's like, okay, that if you know about that, I think then what that means is that in this situation, you could have taken the context that you were jumping into account and then been ready to like play out this situation, not off the basis that like you're raw reacting to the fact that he's down airing, but it's like, oh, I know that I was jumping and he ended up down airing. That means that like logically the conclusion is I am going to be getting hit out of the air and I will be actionable on the ground before him.
Oh my god, that makes so much sense. That kind of reminds me of like when let's say like Amars gets like nair shined at 0 by Fox. Like
Yeah.
if he gets Sakurai angled then shined, he could like instantly grab that.
Yeah, yeah, he like can
Yeah.
like land or something like that. And it's the air to ground shine thing where he's actionable immediately, and it's like that's the kind of thing. And so it's like that's why, there's a ton of things that people do but that like reinforce that, but it's like, yeah, it's like it's this thing where you do an action and you understand what it implies and you know how things interact with it, so when something happens, you're ready to be like, oh, that thing happened because that's just what does happen normally, right? And this is one of those positions where taking context into account could have just given you a grab if you're really ready, or a shine if you were less ready.
That's true. Holy crap.
Yeah. Here you chase Falco vertically again, which you see how it kind of like, look how awkward the position is now. He like shield drops coincidentally at a similar time as you like, full hopping, and look at the position you end up in. He's like landing next to you. This is like, you might want to protect yourself, and you try to protect yourself by dash chancing rather than like attacking, right? And I feel like putting yourself in this spot where like something awkward could happen isn't really that. Because what if he just like shield drop fast fell and then immediately did approaching laser, because he'd know that you'd probably be caught off guard or there'd be an awkward position because you ended up so close, right?
Right.
And like you could just get laser shined, and it's like, well, guess I die, but you don't want to just do that to yourself. And so that's like part of why chasing Falco vertically ends up being really bad, because you just like end up in these awkward positions where if something goes wrong you die, and if something goes right, it's not like you're gonna combo off of that. You're gonna hit like a soft bear and go back to neutral, right?
Yeah, just chip damage.
Yeah. Um, at this percent, you could do short hop up air on no DI. Just like short hop rising up air or whatever, and then it's like your best combo move, because if you up tilt, a lot of the time if they DI to the platform, they end up really low, so you can't actually tech chase that easily. And then
Yeah, up tilt. I kind of want to make it like a rule of thumb to just up tilt on FD, and then
yeah.
here I usually like the nair to like up air as like an open up, but I
Mm-hmm.
know it requires like a read just to hit that.
Yeah, you're like reading tech in place, and it's like you're hitting. If you're doing a thing that'll hit an upper anyways, why not just hit the upper at a lower percent where it combos better?
Yeah, and that usually gets me like a bear, right? Like
Yeah,
into an edge guard.
yeah. You get like an
Yeah,
up air. Maybe you get a second upper, and then maybe upper off the top, or maybe you get upper bear edge guard. And it's like I feel like those are end up being a lot better,
yeah,
and more
stronger.
consistent because it just happens every time. You know.
That's true.
Oh, that Nair is not good.
Mhm. That was greedy.
Yeah. You just kind of saw that he was close to you when you landed on ledge, but like didn't really account for the fact that he could like move in time.
Mhm.
Good recovery though. No, not good. So I think jumping here is fine, but I feel like you have to have the awareness that like if Falco does double jump and drift forward, where he'll land, you know?
Yeah.
And so it's like you doing this jump. I guess the issue is that when you do this jump, this is what you're specifically reading. Like
Mhm.
you're like, oh, he's gonna double jump off the slide off, and then I'm gonna like be able to back air his down air, right? And I
Yeah.
feel like when you did the jump, those were not your intentions. I feel like you thought something different would happen.
Mhm. I
Um,
probably thought I'd get there in time for like to buffer an up tilt,
mhm.
but yeah, I think I got way too ahead of myself there.
Yeah, and so I feel like in a position like this, you know, can you like imagine that if you just did like a bear, you would just hit the downer if you kept drifting to the right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and so it's like that is how the situation generally tends to play out. That's fine. Oh wow, good reaction.
Yeah.
Oh wow, you played invincibility well, and then you accidentally jumped off the platform. Yeah, you just have to keep like dash. Just like I think you jumped because you're like, oh wait, he could just like hit me. But I
Mhm.
think if you didn't want to get hit, what you have to do is just like space either at the absolute edge of the platform or
Right.
just run off this like run off to here in the corner. And
Uh-huh.
those are both two spots where like he pretty clearly can't hit you directly.
Yeah.
Um, yeah.
Like right when I run off the platform, I could like try and turn around and then grab ledge, right?
Yeah, like what if you want to run off? Yeah, you could grab ledge, or what if you want to like run off and then read him approaching and do like up tilt or something, or like CC. I guess you're at 73, you can't really CC. Or like you could shield if you really want to read him, or like play reactive and then play out of that or whatever. Like you have options once you create space.
I actually did not expect
Damn,
that to hit either.
damn.
Yeah. That was just good on him.
Yeah, I'm surprised you just died straight up. Like Bear never kills like that. Let's talk about this invincibility. So you went for your one read, and then you tried to go for something else, and guess what? You're falling with like well vulnerable, and Falco could just shine you. And guess what? Cleese tried to jump shine you too. And so it's
Yeah.
like this is kind of the thing. This is what makes like the you get one try and then you play for position, like be really clear. Look at how awkward of a position you falling from the top of the screen with Nair is as he's like dashing on the ground, right? Like what if he
And
just
you can
like
like double jump too.
yeah, right. It's like you did everything to make the outcome of your decision as obvious as possible. You removed all of your like escapes. It's like you double jumped, you did the aerial super early. Like there's no other information that like could have been gotten or that like, you know, that wasn't already on the table, right? And so it's like if he knows exactly what's going to happen, you know, if he was had better tech skill or was reacting better, he will just like jump shine you and like actually hit it. And it's like this is the second time where off invincibility you kind of make a decision that like just kind of sets you up to like get reversal in some way, you know? Nice. This is something that is kind of minor, but it's probably worth talking about. I
Sure.
think doing this, doing like dash forward shields that make it where Falco ends up point blank with you when you win a power shield definitely works and it's good sometimes, but
Yeah.
the risk reward is really not in your favor. And so I think that like it's worth to think of it as like a more an option you'd use less often.
Okay.
Because I think if I were in this position, I'd be like, oh yeah, I definitely want a power shield. This is a really good time to power shield. But instead of dashing back towards the left, I just keep dashing to the right in power shield.
Okay. Yeah.
Because you
Just to
want
time it.
space and you want to disrupt his laser, but you don't want to like put yourself in like, because you know, this is a similar thing to like you double jumping and nairing super early where it's like you getting unlucky or losing this interaction means you start getting comboed to death, right? And so it's like, you know, I feel like that's been the one consistent with all these situations that we've looked at where it's like the risk reward is not in your favor at all, you know?
Yeah.
And I think that like I guess we'll end up talking about like judging what the risk reward actually like. What are the situations that have good risk reward for you?
That's right.
Because I think that none of these have really been that great, and they've ended up like leading to like some bad things.
So some losses.
Yeah. Oh, bad defense.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like you. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
Like,
this is also the example I wanted to show. Like, I just don't know how to take a hit here.
yeah, I think the issue is that you tried to shine and your shine didn't, like, you shined early, so it didn't come out, and then presumably that shield is you trying to wave dash because you're pressing the trigger because you're wave dashing on your shine, right? And then you try and jump once you realize something weird happened, and then even after once you like shined and full hop. And so I guess the sentiment is that like initially you have bad tech skill or like bad awareness when like approaching the situation. So like in this case, that would be like, you know, you have bad tech skill, so you mess your shine up after taking laser, right? And so then it's like once you get hit, your adjustments end up being you like aren't aware of like the time it takes to do the thing, and so you end up just getting hit. And so it's like here, you know, you were like, oh damn, this is awkward. I got hit. I'm gonna jump. And I think you should like think about these positions in a way where it's like, what can I shift my reaction to be more like all encompassing. And so in this example, this is another one where I feel like if you got hit by this nair that you weren't expecting and knew you weren't CCing, I'd be like, damn, I'm just gonna shield, because it's like shield loses the shine. Shield makes me safe from, I mean, everything. Or shield beats shine. Sorry, shine loses the shield. And I'm safe from everything that isn't grab, and it's better than getting hit. So
yeah,
I'm just gonna shield, right? And I think that seems pretty reasonable over jump, where it's like the only thing that jump like interacts decently with is Falco fully disengaging, but Falco doesn't really have a reason to fully disengage, right?
Yeah, because he's hitting the hell out of me.
Yeah, he's like, you're in the mix. He's probably wants something to happen, you know. Nice. Grab. Oh, now this was an up smash position, actually. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because if he died away, he wouldn't have landed on the platform because he's like, I think he's like 20-ish% lower, 15-ish. Yeah. So that's when you actually can do a normal up smash. You can also do the reverse up smash in this position.
Okay. And it lead him to like the platform.
If you do the reverse up smash, it just sends him upward, and he doesn't land on the platform. He just floats up around here. And if he dies away, he like falls past the platform and like lands right here, and you could just like tech chase it or whatever.
Okay.
But I think up smashing there is fine. Oh wow. Oh, you missed your bear. I think this recovery wasn't very good. I feel like double jumping was fine, but I think that if you're gonna double jump, you could just like instant side beat a top plat, or like, you know, something like that. And then I think instead of double jumping, what you could have done is like in this position, just like fall and shine stall and try and get like a side beat a ledge, like a double jump side beat a ledge or something, right? I think that could be good.
Okay.
This position, this recovery ends up being pretty bad just because it like, I think if Keisha was paying more attention, he would just like he would dash back, do full hop, and then be able to cover like any straight or high thing you do just on reaction. And then if you go low, it like he could also still just decide to cover that by like staying on stage and bearing, and then covering high with like full hop bear or something. And so it's like in both scenarios, you kind of just get fucked when you up B at this height. Okay, I guess he didn't get it, but I don't think that he did it that well. Forward tilt, grab ledge. Nice. Jump shine. Oh.
Should I like dash a bit further for there?
Yeah. You just have to dash further. I do think something that also made it awkward is that you shined after the nair, and I feel like you had no reason to shine after the nair, just because it's like, you're whiff punishing him, right? You could tell since like he did the downer so early, it's like you could tell that by the time your nair hits, that you're literally whiff punishing a downer with it, and so it's like there's no reason to shine because there's no ambiguity, right? ambiguity.
True.
I mean, and so it's like you would just not shine, and then you'd be able to do like, oh, jump shine or something, right? And then it'd like connect way more naturally than like what you tried to do.
Okay.
This is bad spacing. Oh, I read the fuck out of high. Damn. Peach is not a high reader.
Yeah.
Oh, you missed your let's dash. And then
Yeah.
tournament winner. He doesn't read high. Why doesn't he read high?
Yeah.
Oh.
I feel like with his 3 stocks, like he could just wing one.
Yeah, I think reading high
But
is really good.
yeah.
But regardless, yeah, I feel like the issue in I do think there's a few situations that you brought up where it was like you didn't react well or respond well to Falco hitting you, but it's honestly just like I think that a lot of the spots where like things went poorly were more related to like you kind of misjudging risk reward in terms of like how Fox interacts with Falco. And I think that if I had to like give you like a guideline, I guess, is that some ways I feel about Fox Falco and I want to like verbalize them are like I think that Fox loses most interactions where he tries to directly interact with Falco.
Okay.
And so what that means is, for example, if a Fox like by direct, I guess we could also use the word like head on. And so it's like something I think that happens a lot that's really bad for Fox is if Fox tries to nair forward and Falco dares forward, nair is going to lose. Or if Fox tries to running shine and Falco decides to do an act like a hitbox, Fox loses, right? Or like, and so it's like all these situations where Fox and Falco end up close and are like actually interacting hitbox to hitbox, Fox just loses. But I think a lot of things that a lot of positions where Fox ends up winning, where it's like Fox waits for Falco to approach with an aerial and then whiff punches him with grab. That's indirect. Or Fox like does a full hop that lets him react and then Falco aerials under him. That's indirect, right? And can you kind of see the difference where it's like that's where Fox gets like his value. He doesn't win against Falco like hitboxes straight up, but I think that he can like, when since he can be so mobile, he can outmaneuver Falco. He could really take advantage of like the fact that he can win indirectly through like Falco whiffs a thing and he ends up like moving into his space and then Fox hits him for it or something, right?
Yeah. Fox's openings have to be a little more concrete.
Yeah, and I think I want to show you.
Yeah.
Funnily enough, I played Noah the other day, and I think me showing you me versus him, a player that you mentioned with like specifically like having this lower style or more patient style, I think would end up being pretty valuable because I think that my matches with Noah were pretty one-sided.
Yeah. And I always struggle with Noah too. Like, yeah, I could never figure that guy out.
Yeah, and I think he's hard if you don't have like the perfect tech skill to deal with him. I could pick a Battlefield game. I know the 2 Battlefield games I played ended up being not the best to watch because I do remember in this session I was actually it's fine. You can watch this one and I'm gonna start streaming my Dolphin. Okay, should be back up.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, and I want to talk about a few things. I want to like show you a few things in this matchup with like thoughts that I have on this matchup and how to like approach it. We could just start from the beginning. Cool, I jump. Okay, so immediately, I think something I ended up doing was really good is that I saw that he was lasering, and I was completely ready for the fact that I was getting lasered out of the air, and I dashed once I landed, like with a very good tech skill, right? And it's like, I don't think getting hit by a laser out of the air is good. I think it's really bad. But I also think that I was very aware, and I knew exactly when I had to dash out. And if we actually look at the frames, funnily enough, there's 4 frames of landing lag on just like landing normally. And look,
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4. The 5th frame, I'm dashing. And so it's like, you can tell I knew exactly, right? I knew exactly when I was going to get hit by the laser. I knew exactly what was going to happen, and I was able to act sufficiently, right?
Right.
So I think that's like a big difference here. Really good. I just whatever the dashbacks or whatever, but how I play out of the dashbacks here, where I do this, I see that he's like did a laser walk shine, and I'm like, oh, if Falco shines, Fox, same thing for Fox. He has to do some sort of jump action to get out, right? And so I'm
Right.
like, okay, well, he like did this shine that didn't hit. He probably wants to be evasive, and so that gives me an opportunity to get out of the way and just like play. And so I run under him, just kind of assuming that he would jump in some capacity, and then end up playing the situation after, right?
Yeah.
Nice. And
Yeah.
he's on the top platform, and I'm like, well, what's he gonna
He's
do?
cornered.
I see him full hop,
Oh,
and I'm like, well, he can't do anything. I'm not gonna get hit for it. And then I see that he jumps off, and I'm like, okay, well, he jumps off. I'm gonna like maintain corner pressure, and then I
yeah.
just do this bear or whatever, and
Yeah,
that's
because
it.
like Falco can barely do anything to like Fox turned around.
Yeah, and that's super important. And we see here where it's just like the awareness I have of what Falco can do from like the current action state
Yeah.
he's in is extremely like I think it's very precise, right? Even
Yeah.
during these situations where earlier I know that he's shining, I saw that he double shined. I'm like, damn, guess what? He has to waveland down or double jump. I'm gonna fucking dash through. I know that's gonna happen, right? Or here, I know that he's on side platform. Okay, well, he could drop through, and if he jumps up, I won't get hit for it. And then I see, oh, he's full hopping on top platform. I can't get hit from this spot at all, right?
Dude, that's insane.
It's
Yeah.
like every single spot I have like super high awareness of like what Falco can do.
Mhm.
And even here, literally, even this in this random scramble where Noah accidentally like rolled, I'm like, oh, he rolled. If he's holding shield and I do this double jump up air, I'm just gonna push him off the platform and then get this up air. And then guess what? He didn't do it. Now he's in the corner and I'm playing center stage, right?
Yeah.
And so it's like every single decision has that kind of like delicacy, right? I
And
have the
sometimes,
awareness of Falco's like state.
yeah.
And here I get caught like he like lasers and I'm like, I don't like this position because like I can't wave dash forward comfortably. Full hopping forward seems kind of risky, so I'm gonna try and escape. And so I like full hop back to create space and then play neutral from there. And it is just what it is. I create the good laser spacing, sure, and then oh I realize I don't want it and I go back to playing neutral, whatever. But I think a big thing that I guess you kind of realize that's slightly different is that like I am not forcing any of these laser interactions. I don't think I've been aggressive out of a laser once yet. I literally don't think I have. Dash back, boom, dash back. Let's see what happens. I hit him. Sure, he lasers. I shield. I full hop. Oh, I dash forward after that laser, but that's because he already created space, so it was safe to dash forward there. Here, I full hop, create space. Oh, and there I tried to be aggressive. And so you see how many lasers it took me to like decide I'm going to move forward. And I only decided to move forward because I was like, oh, I'm going to power shield that laser, which he messed up doing, by the way. I was correct. And then hit him for it, right? And so it's like, I only waited to like decide to be aggressive until I was absolutely sure. And I think that's like kind of this like level of like being evasive or like passive when laser stuff is happening, I think is important because it's this thing that I talked about at the very beginning where it's like interacting with laser is like getting lasered is disadvantageous for you. You are put in frame like disadvantage, and that's just like objectively true.
Yeah.
And I think it's pretty clear how I'm playing that like I am playing with that as like an axiom. I know that I'm disadvantageous when I get lasered, and so I'm not going to force anything if I don't need to, right?
Right. I also did read your that one post in this chat.
Oh yeah,
Regarding
with
like the
the
rules
Falco
against Falco.
rules. Yeah.
Yeah. I always thought like Fox. I read the part Fox being next to Falco in general is an advantage, but I
Yep.
never like realized like if you take laser into account, then Falco just wins that.
Yeah, if you get lasered point blank, that's really bad because
Yeah.
you're at disadvantage, right? But now it's like
Mhm.
if I think what I probably would want to change it to now if I could is it's like putting yourself or ending up next to Falco of your own volition is good. Ending up next to Falco on your terms is good. That's what you want. You want to be next to him on your terms.
On my terms. Okay.
Yeah, you want to be the one that puts yourself next to him because that would mean that he's dealing with it, and then you have the advantage of having a faster jump squat, having a bigger shine, things like that, having a faster dash that lets you escape,
Yeah.
Burner pressure, up tilt is greedy. And look at what happens here. We actually have a pretty similar position where I get hit by this bear, something weird happens. I'm like, what the fuck is happening? Guess what I do?
Yeah.
Hold shield, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, I think the way that you approach the awkward positions, you have to like really try and like judge what is the thing I can do here that would like get me hit in a horrible way the least often.
Mhm.
Cool. I also want to point out with this full hop, I do this full hop, and then I react to the fact that it like probably won't hit, so I double jump to top platform, play neutral from there. Cornered. Here I actually do something kind of similar to you, where I hit the nair and then I like shine, and I'm like, well, that probably wasn't that great. But this one was supposed to be like a nair shine combo, like nair comboed into shine, since I had dash forward momentum, but I missed it.
I think my nair was a lot closer to him being towards the ledge, and he was at like higher percent.
Yeah,
So I recognize mine would hit like 10 edge guard.
yeah. Down there. Do I just die? I do.
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah. Oh, that was so lucky for him. What the fuck? Whatever.
What were you trying to go for there?
I think I literally messed up, and I just got hit by an up tilt that was not meant to hit the option I did. I like this, how I play this position. I full hop, and I'm like, fuck, I'm getting hit by a laser. This is weird. But I know that I'm spaced because he did like a dash back laser, and so I just go to the platform, and I'm like, you're lasering. I have nothing to like worry about. I'm not. You can't hit me when we're this far and I'm on side platform, right?
Yeah,
And so
there's
then,
nothing Falco could do.
yeah, there I go for a read. I just try and read him lasering so I could get like a nair and just combo him off of it because he's pretty autopilot with how he lasers. But I messed up my timing. Back air, cool. Could be dead.
Yeah,
It's dead. Cool.
nice.
Man, that was a. This is normal. I read his jump to like waveland on side platform, and then I realized that a lot of the times what Falcos do is they jump up to like when you're like under platform and Fox jumps on platform on top of them. A lot of the time, what they like to do is like just whiff punish with jump shine, and so I'm aware of that, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna double jump drill and like land on top of them and potentially a whiff punish, but I got kind of unlucky with the air to ground thing, so maybe not the most consistent.
Cause he like accidentally jumped after his shine too, right? And
Yeah.
that just benefited him.
Here I do something I think is really good. Is that again? This is another position where it's like, oh, you jumped a platform and Falcons are like scoping out getting a jump shine, and I'm totally aware of that. And so guess what I do is I wave land and then just do literally jump drill because it's like, oh, he's gonna jump up and get hit by it.
Dude, holy shit!
And then he gets drill grabbed.
Yeah, free opening. Let's go.
Yeah, combos suck though. Wish I played. Oh, that's not good.
Yeah,
That's good though.
yeah, still solid.
There, hit cool. He should have gone the ledge. I don't know why he didn't.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, look at me playing evade. This is great. This is all very good. Yeah. So I guess what made this good specifically is that like I think me landing on the ground is fine, and then me being like, oh, he's daring, so he can't get to me in time, lets me like what's it called? Lets me land safely, and then Falco shines small, so I get to avoid it. And so then now that I'm in this position, I'm like, okay, well the only way he hits me is literally by doing dash jump off the platform, and so then I'm ready to like, play around him doing this down air. I wasn't 100% sure because he could have lasered, so I did a drill, but I was like aware of the entire situation, which I think is important.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I think this ended up being pretty interesting. So here, I do the double jump, and I'm reacting during the double jump, and so instead of autopilot bearing, I realize, oh, he was down airing forward, and so I start playing a mix-up, right?
Yeah.
And so I do this empty land, or what the heck, I meant to wave that shine, but regardless. I meant to I was like, oh, I'm gonna wave that shine and catch him, and I, messed up, but guess what? I'm still ready to play out of the laser immediately, right? That's also something that we talked about initially, where it's like, I literally messed up, and I was already, I knew exactly what I had to do out of the laser, so I double jump, wave land back, and play the game, right?
Yeah.
Oh, look what happens. I chase Falco vertically, and
Yeah,
I get
bad
hit.
news.
Right?
Yeah.
Not good. I read the fuck out. He got lucky.
Wait, which part?
Where my up smash clanked with
The
his up
clank.
tilt. It was
Oh,
supposed to be me doing waveland turnaround up tilt, which is just faster,
yeah.
and it would have just hit. But alas.
Oh,
Oh, look at this is great awareness of like what Falco can do from like understanding what Falco can do from his current state. So I'm like, okay, well, if he's dashing back, he probably can't hit me directly. And so I'm like checking if he jumps, and I see that he jumps, and I'm like, oh, he full hopped. Well, I'm just gonna like, play the situation after, right? And I'm sitting there crouching. I'm not panicking. I'm like aware of what Falco can do, you know. Oh, I tried to up tilt it. That nair is really bad. Grab.
nice grab.
Oh, I wanted it to work. I remember testing it. I was like, I wonder if this will hit. Definitely did not.
They play so good out of the corner too.
Yep, I always take my time. Always, it's super important. And I also want to show you one of the games where I like beat him up really badly because I think for some reason, the Battlefield games did not go as well as any of the other games. But oh look, playing with my back turned.
Oh yeah.
Yep. I missed my shine though, so I got CCF smashed. Unlucky. Bad tech skill. Nice. Oh no. Oh, I killed myself.
Oh my god, there's actually I don't know if you saw the KJH video where you could like smash DI into that dare.
Oh yeah,
Or
and
do
land
like
on
it.
stage. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. No, I tried. You saw I got a smash eye input.
yeah.
I definitely
So good.
tried, but
Look at that.
I did not get it. Oh, that was unlucky for him. My jab juked his shine. Pretty funny. Look.
Yeah.
The lean forward made it miss.
I'm really surprised it didn't at least hit the tail.
Yeah.
It's Falco.
Yeah, Falco shine just not. Oh wow, good awareness.
Nice.
Yeah.
That kill too? Holy shit.
Yep. Shine, the same thing we talked about at the beginning, where if they shine, they have to jump out, right? And he just got up smashed. Yeah, let me pick the Streamlab game. And we could just speed watch it since we're at the end of the lesson.
For sure.
Same thing as before. Laser, I just go to platform. I don't want to deal with it. Don't chase him vertically. Play the ground game well. Except I get fucking see his shine on my up tilt, which is definitely something.
Yeah.
Nice. Oh, he's dead.
Oh shit, yeah.
Oh, well, it worked out. He's dead. Nice.
That scared the shit out of me.
Yeah, I'm surprised I missed that. Oh, look at this. This is super cool. So I end up in this position, and I'm like, Shining Shield. I'm like, damn, my Shining Shield didn't hit. So guess what I do? I drift back. And so I end up getting to play like a reasonable, like, neutral spacing. Right? And so this is like the things that I've been talking about with like reacting well to full hop. It's like I didn't force anything with the mistake. I tried the running shine. It didn't work. And guess what? I adjusted well. Okay, he just got shine twice. I have been playing neutral well, but he literally just has gotten shine twice. Here, invincibility. You see how once I land on the side platform, I move towards the edge of it to guarantee I can't get hit. You see, watch me wave dash. This means that even if he was dashing forward instead of lasering here, I would end up too far for him to hit me. So I get to play safe and then react. And then I'm like, oh, he's so far, so I get to, play neutral from the position typically. Force my back. See, I'm also playing with my back turned the entire time.
Yeah.
Make the effort to do it there. Bad arms attack.
Yeah.
Have to DI, survival DI there. Also, guess what? I go for my one read, and guess what I do afterward?
Back off.
Position, right?
Position, yeah.
Play for position. I immediately turn my back and start playing neutral from there. Oh, look at this is also a position where I like messed up. I wanted to shield drop, but then I ended up like dash facing forward, And guess what? I shield until I can see something, and then I'm like, oh, okay, I just get to full hop, and so I full hop out, and then I get a neutral win off of it, right?
That's so insane.
It's like the spot dodge didn't even matter because I was still like present.
Mhm.
Oops, I messed up. I didn't tech that.
Yeah.
Kind of shield. Nice. Uh,
It's so insane watching this because like whenever I play Noah, I just get like pretty much overwhelmed by how like fast he is. But it's like maybe it's just me giving freebies all the time.
yeah, I think
Yeah.
you're just. If I had to make the most general claim possible, you're probably just trying to interact with him too much. And I
Too much.
think
Yeah.
it's pretty clear that in these games, I'm just ignoring him half the time. I'm literally just running around the stage doing random shit.
Yeah.
And that's just kind of the matchup. You don't have to Fox avoids Falco the entire time, and that's how he like
What
gets
the
his
fuck
opening.
is that side B?
Oh yeah, there's a secret technique. You could do
What
dash
the
jump side B
fuck?
to edge cancel. Yeah,
That's so cool.
that's one of the things I came up with. Really cool. Oh, I
Yeah.
suck.
I like doing that trick on Battlefield and
And Yoshi's, yeah,
Yoshi.
you can do it on Yoshi's too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, look at this. This is so good. Wow. Super awareness, where I just give up the space. And it's like, you can't hit me if I give up the space. Of course, I give him a freebie, which is, I guess, how it goes. But
Yeah. Dude, I could watch these all day. Nice.
damn,
Yeah.
I've I've taken 70% this game. What the fuck? Oh, nice, good read. Nice, good awareness. And look at how I play these spots where I like end up hitting Falco and it's kind of scrambly. I don't play them in a way where I like try and run to the center and meet him. I'm like, I'm gonna let him move to me. And so you see at Waveland, I do this, the short hop off the platform. It's like it's not about me like directly hitting him. It's about me like avoiding him effectively and then having my own hitbox out that'll work well.
That's right.
Nice.
Oh.
Oh. This is actually the thing that we talked about where like I dashed into the center to power shield the laser and
Yeah.
something awkward happened and it's like, yep, it was also the back of, by the way, the back of my shield, or my back got shield poked by the laser, which is fucking insane.
Yeah.
I know, I started rolling, that's what it was, okay.
Oh, yeah.
But that does happen sometimes when you get point blank lasered.
Yeah.
Oh, look, I tried to force it and guess what? I immediately got hit, right?
Yeah.
No one's safe. Nice, play with my back turned. Nice. I go for a read and I'm aware enough to like move out of the way effectively because I know he'll try and hit it. So I'm ready to do my thing. He got lucky. Whatever. I have fucking literally taken 100% this game. What the fuck? Nice.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, sometimes we could just get away with stuff like that.
Yeah. But yeah, I think with those games, it's like we kind of saw the difference in me being like, okay, I'm gonna take my time and play passive and not like force anything, and in the weird spots, I'm gonna defend myself effectively, and I'm gonna like play with my back turned to Falco and only like if I have an opportunity interact with him indirectly. All these things like end up adding up, and that's kind of like where Fox gets his value.
That's right.
Yeah.
I really know what to work on for this now, especially like just like especially my game plan against Falco.
Hmm.
Just like not rushing into him and like taking my time, like and paying extra close attention to like
The small
what he
details.
yeah.
Yeah.
Um and then what was I gonna ask? Those replays were what you're gonna show me like before we started the VOD, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
okay.
had those in mind. Yeah.
hmm And then there's, I think there's something else I wanted to ask about. Hmm, can't remember it off the top of my head, but if I do, I'll message you for sure.
Okay. Yeah.
But
Sounds
yeah,
good.
but yeah. After this, I'm just gonna watch like a shit ton of Fox Falco, and then I'm gonna try to like fix up that ambiguous like DI by the flats.
Oh yeah, yeah. Definitely
'Cause-
practice that. That's super
yeah.
important.
hmm And I think I'm good. I can't wait to rewatch this the VOD also.
Nice. Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
upload it quickly. I know I've been kind of shitty at uploading recently. I have been in the fucking the uh the thick of it.
Yeah, no, it's all good. Like um rewatching all of it, like I at least like do it like once a week for both videos.
Mhm.
And like it's just been helping me like keep on track.
Nice. I'm glad you found them useful. Yeah. Oh, yeah, cool. Yeah. If you ever remember that question, you could obviously ask me, and if you have any other questions, you could ask. I think I actually think for building a game plan against Falco, given that we didn't like super duper like cover Fox Falco fundamentals, developing the matchup type stuff. I think if you use the Falco rules that I have posted as your guideline, you will like find a lot of success in doing them. Because that's just like those things are just the fundamental aspects of Fox Falco. Um,
Yeah, because I legit read this like before I played Cleash and
mhm.
before I played the the second person I was gonna play in Losers,
Yeah,
and like I feel like I did most of like the risky stuff without taking like my basic understanding of like Fox Falco is like Wave Dash can like really mess them up unless like they're really aware of like the laser spacing. Like the lasers can sometimes catch full hops.
yeah,
Um, I know like having your back turned against them is like a really strong like position or like advantage against them.
yeah,
Um, sometimes if you're at a certain spacing, like if he lasers in place, you could probably running shine that,
yep.
which I feel like it's kind of risky at times, but
It's also a mix up. Sometimes you have to do
yeah,
it.
yeah, sometimes it's a mix up and you just like win off of that. Like
Yep.
he's just off stage and dies.
Yeah.
And it's weird. I used to be able to like hit that more, and now I guess like maybe I'm just hitting Falco in the wrong positions like there.
Yeah, maybe there's like just some you're like misjudging or something, and it like the position's slightly different. So when you try and go for it, it's not
Mhm.
working.
And
Yeah.
I guess also against like easier Falcos to play against,
Mhm.
especially like just net play Falcos. Like I really like him using running in and shielding because
Yeah.
mostly like they'll laser once or twice and then Darren and then free shine out the shield.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and I that's probably why it doesn't work against like people like Cliche or Noah, just
Mhm.
because like they'll really take their time with it and they'll like oh they see a shield like double shine grab or just raw grab.
Yeah, yeah. I think that the way that I see Shield is I think Shield's really good because it obviously stops you from getting hit by Falco in any way that isn't like a grab. But being
Yeah.
getting pressured by Falco is not like good. You don't want to get pressured. And so I see it as like there's like players like KJH I think who like use it too much and it ends up like he obviously can get away with it because he has really good tech skill, but not everyone has really good tech skill like him. Like I have, you know, I think I have pretty good tech skill and I'm not comfortable doing that. I think it ends up kind of like feeling roll the dicey.
Yeah, because I watched his guide. It like featured Westball's Leffen, uh, Ginger, Cyrox, and I think Lucky Westballs.
Mhm.
And he really like emphasized how good running shield is, and like even Mango does it, but it does seem like pretty like just a weird mix up nowadays.
Yeah, I think it's good, but I don't think it's like a
And I'll be all
yeah, it's not like a oh I've got Fox Falco neutral covered. I'm running shielding now. It's like a well I'm gonna like running shield because I want to read like a laser, but if they don't laser, then I have good access to other options. Like I can still shine out a shield a down air. I can still wave dash out a shield if he gives me space or something, right? And so it's like That's how I see it. It's good to beat the things that you specifically want it to beat, but like I don't think you should just kind of do it to like band-aid fix situations. You
That's
know?
true. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And then plus you could always just like dash out. Oh, that's one thing I also wanted to work on. That was actually my question about practicing the dash back out of lasers.
Hmm.
Like, do you think like the Uncle Punch one is like a good one, or just to like set up like a replay for that?
I think the ankle punch one is good. And then I think if you want to like really get good at it, just like when you play matches against Falcos, just like the thing that we talked about initially, where it's like try and be aware of when you think they will laser and like preempt it well and like be ready for it.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's all good then.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Sounds good.
Yep. Thank you for your time, dude.
Yeah.
And I'll see let me see. What's December? Yeah, I'll most likely try to get like a lesson right. I want to say before or after main stage.
Okay. That's the first weekend of December, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. 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 Yeah. Sounds
All right.
good.
Nice. Thank you so much.
Yeah. No problem. Have a good rest of your day.
You too.